Hey guys. All right, so here's today's reading of our book. There's my bookmark. Let me take that back. Runaway Ralph by Beverly Cleary. Scholastic Books is helping us by letting us read these aloud. Remember on Friday, the cat tried to get in, and they were both a little bit frightened about that. So chapter 5 is called The Personal Mouse. Ralph's life in the cage was never the same after the arrival of the hamster. Chum was picky about his food and fussy about his housekeeping. One corner of his cage had to be the bathroom, another his sleeping quarters, a third the storehouse for the food he liked. He was forever pushing and shoving and stomping in his cedar shavings. His exercise wheel rasped and creaked whenever he ran, usually while Ralph was trying to take a nap. He had a particularly irritating way of gnawing, like chewing, noisily at the bars of his cage. "Why do you do that?" said Ralph. "You can't chew through metal." "I'm not trying to chew through the bars," said Chum. "I'm wearing down my teeth." Ralph was astounded. "Don't you want teeth?" he asked, thinking how dependent he was on his own sharp teeth. "If I don't chew something hard, my teeth will go long, and then I won't be able to eat," Chum explained impatiently. "I chew the bars because Lana doesn't ever give me anything hard to chew." "Oh," said Ralph, grateful that his teeth did not continue to grow. Chum had another habit that disturbed Ralph. He nipped at Lana whenever she tried to pick him up. "That's not nice," said Ralph one day when he had seen Lana hastily withdraw her hand from her pet's cage. "That's biting the hand that feeds you." Oh, that's a good idiom. "I have some rights," said Chum. "If I let Lana pick me up, I never would have any peace. Believe me, I know. I made the mistake of letting her pick me up just once. When she tried to stuff me into a doll's sweater, I knew that was enough." Chum also sat for long periods of time, gently swinging on his wheel and staring his unblinking eyes at nothing at all. "Why do you sit there like that?" asked Ralph, who liked to be busy when he was awake. "I'm thinking," answered Chum. "Thinking about what?" Ralph wanted to know. "I am a philosopher. I think about life." "Life?" Ralph was puzzled. "What do you mean?" Chum sat staring into space so long that Ralph thought he was never going to answer. Finally, the hamster said, "Take you, for instance. Where do you think you're going on that wheel?" "No place, I guess," admitted Ralph. "I never thought about it much." "See what I mean?" said Chum. You run, and you're still in the same old cage." Ralph suddenly felt guilty, as if he had done something wrong, but he was not sure what it was. "But I like running on my wheel," he said, feeling that his answer was rather lame. Chum did not bother to reply. He continued to sit, swing, stare, and think. Ralph leaped to his wheel and began to run. His paws flew along those wires of the wheel, pushing it faster and faster until he looped-a-looped. He ran on until he began to tire. His paws touched the wires more and more slowly until Ralph coasted to a stop. Then he, too, sat staring and motionless. Where was he going? No place. That's where he was going, no place at all. With so many people feeding him, he wasn't sure who owned him. Perhaps when the camp closed at the end of the summer, he will be turned out to the mercy of Catso and all those kittens. Drat Chum, talk about life, thought Ralph crossly. He had spoiled all my fun. Chum had another habit disturbing to Ralph. Whenever his owner approached him with a bag of sunflower seeds, Chum suddenly appeared to change from a grouch to an agreeable pet. He climbed to the top of his cage, accepted sunflower seeds one by one, and stuffed them into his cheek pouches. Feeding sunflower seeds to Chum became a daily event in the craft shop. The older campers and some of the counselors gathered around Lana to watch her feed Chum. As she handed in the seeds, they would count. 14, 15. Ralph watched while Chum's cheek pouches began to bulge. 22, 23. Still Chum's face stretched. "That old show-off," thought Ralph. 27, 28. Chum had grown so top-heavy that Ralph was sure he would not make it to 30. 30, 31, chanted the campers. Chum was having such difficulty hanging on that Ralph scarcely could bear to watch it. 33, 34. His paws were slipping. Chum could no longer support his weight. He fell to the bottom of his cage with a thump that made Ralph cringe. 34! Yelled Lana, who enjoyed the attention her pet received from the older boys and girls. That's Chum's record! Maybe he'll hit 35 tomorrow, someone said, as the campers lost interest in the hamster and went off to their riding lessons or back to the craft work. Chum got up to his feet rather groggily and went to the storehouse corner of his cage, where he began placing his front paws in his cheek pouches until he pushed the seeds out of his mouth until they lay in a heap at his feet. I bet that was really silly looking. Ralph was disapproving of the whole performance. That's quite an act, he remarked. Doesn't it hurt when you fall to the bottom of the cage? Sure it hurts, said Chum as he pushed out the last sunflower seed, but it's worth it. No. To show off? Asked Ralph. No, for the sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds that I don't have to pick out from the alfalfa pellets. I perform. She pays off in sunflower seeds. That's the way it goes. Yes, but you get hurt. I hate alfalfa pellets, answered Chum simply. Ralph's turn came after lunch when the campers were in the dining room singing a song that they obviously enjoyed, but that Ralph found frightening. Billy Grogan's goat was feeling fine, ate 3 shirts right off the line. Garf silently pushed open the screen door and Ralph leaped from his wheel. Quickly, Garf unlatched the door of the cage and extended a sunflower seed from his fingers. This time he wasn't singing, but still Ralph didn't trust him. Come on, little fellow, coaxed Garf. Ralph retreated to the corner of his cage behind his exercise wheel. Maybe next time, whispered Garf, and he hurriedly cleaned the cage and refilled the water bottle while the campers sang on. The whistle blew, the train drew nigh, Billy Grogan's goat was soon to die. He gave up 3 groans of mortal pain, coughed up the shirts, and flagged the train. That's a really silly song. When the song was finished, the housekeeping for Ralph was complete, and Garf had slipped quietly and silently out of the craft shop without letting the screen door slam. Ralph stood on his hind legs, holding the bars of his cage with his front paws and wishing Garf was a different kind of boy. Almost at once, the screen door opened again, and Aunt Jill, with her arm around Garf's shoulders, brought the boy back inside. Sit down, Garf, she said, sat on a bench beside one of the work tables. Scowling, the boy obeyed. What's the trouble, Garf? Said Aunt Jill kindly. What does she mean? Ralph wondered. Garf stared at the floor. You know you've been breaking one of the camp rules. Campers are not supposed to come into the craft shop without permission, unless I'm here or one of the counselors. So that's why he's always in a hurry, thought Ralph. He isn't supposed to be here. He not only likes bloodthirsty songs, he breaks the rules. Garf continued to stare at the floor. Is there anything I can do to help? Asked the camp director. No, Garf said suddenly, because I'm going to run away and nobody's going to stop me. Aunt Jill appeared to take this news calmly, but for some reason Ralph did not. He felt a shock of excitement. Don't do it, boy, he wanted to squeak. It won't get you any place. At the same time, he realized that a boy who wanted to run away was sure to like motorcycles. Maybe he misunderstood Garf. Maybe Garf liked speed and would know how to make a miniature motorcycle run. Is there someplace special you want to go? Said Aunt Jill. No, said Garf, just away. Aunt Jill looked thoughtfully out the back window towards the barn and the riding ring before she turned to Garf and said, What do you want to do? What do you really want to do? Ralph gripped the bars of his cage and waited for the boy's answer. Catso's paw appeared through the hole in the door, but the human beings did not notice. Ralph watched and listened. The hole in the screen had stretched another ½ inch. Goodness. All right, so we're going to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Wonder why Garf wants to run away. That makes me a little bit sad for him. Maybe he just doesn't like being at camp. All right, we will see you in the morning for our virtual morning meeting.